Poor subcontractors like you don't deserve this. Get lost.
Mark, the manager at the main contractor, Idea Factory, completely looked down on me. I wasn't upset about the lack of food, but there was no reason to stay after being insulted like this. Fine, I'll leave. I turned on my heel, having no more business there. Only Mark's laughter echoed behind me. But soon after, Mark would be begging me for the exact opposite.
Come back right now.
I heard his desperate voice over the phone. I couldn't quite understand the situation, but it seemed like he was in trouble. Didn't you tell me to leave? And there's still no food there, right?
Stay. I'll get you a steak. The new CEO is looking for you.
I see. So there was no need to hide the situation anymore. All right, got it. I asked the taxi driver to take me back to the venue. And 1 hour later, Mark would lose everything. My name is John. I'm 43 and work for an app development company. Though we develop apps, my company is a subcontractor and in a weak position. We have to meet the tough deadlines set by the main contractor, working long overtime hours to make it happen every day. The work is tough, but what keeps me going is my girlfriend, Kyla. She's beautiful, caring, and honestly, more than I deserve. Next month, Kyla and I are getting married. If I'm going to walk through life as her partner, I can't afford to show any weakness. However, events that would shake my resolve were about to unfold. Because of one man, I could no longer live my ordinary life. That day, by chance, my work finished early. Usually, I'm working overtime, but for once, I could leave on time. Convinced of this, I contacted Kyla. I think I can get home early today.
Great. Let's have dinner together tonight.
Seeing her message made me happy. Recently, Kyla had been coming over to cook for me. However, because of my late hours, our timing rarely matched, and I often ate the meal she made alone after she had left. Even though she took the trouble to come and cook, I couldn't eat with her or enjoy the freshly made meal. I felt incredibly guilty towards Kyla. When it was finally time to leave, I shut down my computer. Just as I picked up my bag and stood up, my phone rang in my pocket. With a sense of dread, I took out my phone and saw the last name I wanted to see, but I couldn't ignore it, so I answered. Before I could say a word, an irritable tone came from the other end. Hello, this is John from Smith Create.
You're late. I told you to answer immediately when I call.
Even though I picked up within 3 rings, Mark always found something to complain about. Despite my frustration with his condescending attitude, he was still a manager at Idea Factory, a crucial client for us. As much as I hated it, I couldn't talk back. I begrudgingly apologized. I'm sorry. What can I do for you?
Be happy. It's work. Remember the improvement plan for the app. Finish it today.
My bad feeling was right. Whenever Mark called, it usually meant an unreasonable job was coming my way. And this time was no different. Today? You want it done today?
Don't make me repeat myself. Why are you panicking? There are still 6 hours left in the day. Be grateful I'm letting a poor guy like you make some money.
He always had to throw in the poor guy comment. He completely looked down on us subcontractors. I knew having work was better than not, but we also had lives and personal time. Over the years, I'd realized Mark would never understand that. But with that much to do, 6 hours is just.
Then I'll give you until morning. Just make sure it's done before I get in. And remember, I extended the deadline for you, so don't mess it up.
With that, he hung up, left with no other choice. I sent Kyla an apology message. Sorry, I can't come home tonight.
If it's work, I understand. It's okay.
Exhausted, I tackled the task. When I finally got home at midnight, the dinner on the table was more extravagant than usual.
Good job with the overtime.
A simple note from Kyla touched my heart as I ate the now cold meal. I felt even more guilty for not being there. On my day off, I went out with Kyla. To show my appreciation for all the meals she made, we went to a department store, hoping to find her a present. Is there anything you want?
What? It's okay. I just got this the other day.
Kyla's engagement ring, which I had given her, sparkled on her finger. She was mindful of my finances, knowing it was quite an expensive gift. But with all the overtime pay I've saved up, I still have some leeway. Don't worry about it. You always come over and cook for me, so I want to show my appreciation.
I do it because I want to. Just spending time together like this makes me happy.
It's like a dream that such a wonderful woman is going to marry me. But as I was basking in my happiness, my phone suddenly rang, almost mocking my contentment. I felt my face tense up when I saw the display. Kyla nodded, indicating it was okay to answer. Hello. I knew my voice sounded a bit strained. Having to hear from someone who constantly annoyed me, even on my day off, was painful. Why was he calling on my day off anyway? An uneasy feeling slowly crept over me.
What's with that tone? Don't tell me you don't want to deal with this on your day off.
No, it's not that.
Well, good. It's a good habit to answer calls even on your day off.
His tone was dripping with sarcasm. I could easily imagine the smug look on Mark's face. What can I do for you? If it's about the update we're working on, we're on track to finish by next Tuesday. Expecting to be rushed again, I had been working to deliver ahead of the original deadline. It had been a tight schedule from the start, and I had pushed myself hard to finish early to avoid any last-minute rush.
Impressive.
Mark rarely praised me, so this was a relief. At least my efforts weren't in vain. But just as I was feeling a bit reassured, he dropped a bombshell.
Good timing. Get it done by Monday then. Looks like you can handle it.
He had the nerve to shorten the deadline even further. I felt dizzy from the shock. Wait, hold on. The deadline was originally Thursday, right?
Can't be helped. We need it. Or do you want to disappoint the client and make me apologize on your behalf?
No, but Monday is impossible.
You can do it by Tuesday, right? So if you work today, you can finish by Monday. Be grateful I'm giving you work on your day off. I have to get back to my golf game, so I'll hang up now.
After laying out his one-sided demand, he hung up mercilessly. I never expected him to interfere even on my day off, and I was stunned. Seeing me staring at my phone, Kyla asked worriedly,
Was that Mark again?
Yeah, sorry, but I have to go back. I'm really sorry. Hearing the conversation, Kyla continued, sensing the situation.
It's okay. Mark's way of speaking is really rough. No one can stand up to him because of his connections with the CEO. Maybe it's not my place to say, but if he got in through connections, he should at least do a proper job.
I learned after we started dating that Kyla worked as a secretary at Idea Factory. According to her, Mark got his job through connections and treated everyone with the same disdain he showed me, which made him unpopular with his colleagues.
I don't think we have any clients who demand work on such tight schedules.
She mused, tilting her head. Well, whatever the case, we have to do what we're told. We gave up on shopping and headed home so I could tackle the work dumped on me on my day off. That evening, I was invited to the inauguration party for the new CEO of Idea Factory. The previous CEO, quite elderly, would now be taking it easy as chairman. I was the only representative from my company. The venue was spacious, and with many unfamiliar faces, I felt a bit nervous. The scale of the party highlighted the difference in status between our companies. After the opening remarks, the dinner began. As I sat at my designated seat, dishes were brought to the table one after another. Then I noticed something. The serving seemed to be done, so no more plates were being brought up. The MC was about to lead the toast. This meant the serving should have been finished. Yet, amidst the lavish dishes on the table, my seat alone was missing a steak. Thinking it was a mistake, I stood up to call one of the staff in the hall, when Mark appeared from the back.
Glad you could make it.
Mark, thank you for inviting me today.
The new CEO insisted that we invite someone from your company. Personally, I don't think it's necessary to bring subcontractors to an event like this.
His condescending remarks made me inwardly furious. Over the phone, it wasn't as bothersome, but face to face, his demeanor and expressions amplified the unpleasantness.
By the way, I noticed you were looking around. What's up?
Well, I was just wondering why there's no steak. Did the staff forget to serve it? Mark grinned as if he had been waiting for this. His unpleasant smile spread across his face.
Oh, that's no mistake. I told them not to serve it to you.
What? Why would you do that?
This meal was prepared by a top chef. It would be a waste to let you have it. You wouldn't appreciate its value anyway.
His expression was full of malice. He never intended to welcome me. He figured that if I showed up, he'd just chase me away. That was the kind of man Mark was.
Poor subcontractors like you don't deserve this. Get lost.
I realized everything. The new CEO's inauguration party was a significant event for me too. I came to celebrate sincerely, given how much they had helped us. So why did I have to be treated like this? Fine, I'll leave. There was no reason to stay after being insulted like this. My voice, filled with anger, seemed quite low.
Oh, by the way, there's something I need you to deliver today. I've already sent the details. Check it and get to work as soon as you get home. If you work more overtime, you'll be able to afford a steak like this someday.
The people around us looked uncomfortable. Maybe they felt frustrated, unable to do anything about Mark's outrageous behavior. Some were even biting their lips. I turned on my heel, having no more business there. Only Mark's delighted laughter echoed behind me. About 10 minutes into my taxi ride, my phone suddenly started ringing. Mark's annoying name appeared on the screen. Was he adding more to my workload? I had no intention of answering, but the calls kept coming. Finally fed up, I answered on the 5th ring. Yes?
You're slow. What were you doing? Never mind that now. Come back immediately.
His desperate voice came through the phone. I couldn't quite understand the situation, but he seemed to be in trouble. Didn't you tell me to leave? And there's no food for me anyway, right? I already had a load of work to do. Mark's demands were ridiculous.
I'll get you a steak. The new CEO is looking for you.
Hearing about the new CEO, I understood. It seemed there was no need to hide the situation anymore. All right, I got it. I asked the taxi driver to take me back to the venue.
Over here. Hurry up.
When I arrived, Mark was waiting in the parking lot. Seeing the cold sweat on his face, I could tell he was really anxious. Okay, but first, can I get the taxi fare? I came back just for this.
Damn it, fine. Here, take it and hurry.
His hand trembled as he took out the money, and coins clinked as they fell to the ground. It was almost comical seeing him scramble to pick them up in a hurry.
Let's go.
After finally gathering the coins, Mark led me hastily. As we entered the venue, the new CEO, Richard Murphy, was standing right there.
Richard, I brought him back.
Hearing Mark's words, Richard's eyes narrowed in anger.
You mean I got him to come back? What kind of attitude is that?
Yes.
At Richard's intimidating shout, Mark straightened his back. Richard then relaxed his gaze and turned to face me.
I'm really sorry, John. I had no idea such disrespect was being shown.
Richard deeply apologized. It was clear that the problem was with Mark. Feeling uncomfortable with Richard's apology, I hastily responded, "It's okay. Don't worry about that."
I'm truly sorry.
He repeated his apology. However, Mark seemed dissatisfied with Richard's actions.
Sir, with all due respect, why are you apologizing to a guy like this? He's just a subcontractor. We can easily find a replacement.
What are you talking about? Apologize immediately.
Yes, I'm very sorry.
I was shocked to see Mark apologize. Despite his connections with the current chairman, it seemed he couldn't ignore the president's words. His bravado vanished instantly.
Luckily, he came back. But how could you fail to treat a guest properly and send him away like that?
Well, you see, he had work to do. I was just being considerate since he seemed in a hurry.
What a joke. He had dumped work on me, intentionally withheld the meal, and tried to justify his actions. His childish excuse was laughable. But I wasn't the only one who felt that way.
Don't be ridiculous. I know everything. You imposed unreasonable deadlines on him just to make yourself look good to the client.
What? How do you know that?
I found myself strangely understanding. I had suspected something was off. Kyla had mentioned that our company shouldn't have such tight schedules, and there was no way every deadline could be so short. It was all part of Mark's scheme to take credit for himself.
I saw the transaction data. Despite the huge workload, he barely had time to go home while you were out drinking every night. Were the company-funded receptions enjoyable, using the results of his forced labor? Huh?
Well, but thanks to that, we've received high praise from our clients.
That recognition should go to John, not you. Have you ever thanked him even once?
I searched my memory, but Mark had never expressed any gratitude. No matter how tough the situation. Do this next. Get it done faster next time. The only words waiting for me after finishing my work were completely devoid of gratitude.
That is. But I've given him plenty of work as a form of thanks. He wanted the work because he's poor. I was just being considerate.
I never wanted that, Mark. I only did it because you ordered me to.
Shut up. I was just trying to help a poor subcontractor like you make some money.
Seeing him make one excuse after another, it was clear he hadn't been reprimanded often. He couldn't admit his faults. He was like a child.
So he's poor, is he?
Yes. That's how it seemed to me.
On what basis did he make that judgment? Even as a subcontractor, my salary wasn't that low. Mark's ignorance was showing.
Oh, a man who is having a $40,000 wedding is poor? And his engagement ring is quite impressive too. I don't see how John could be poor.
What are you talking about? How do you know about his personal affairs?
Mark was visibly shaken by the personal information Richard revealed. It was natural for him to be surprised. Most people didn't know the relationship between the president and me.
How do I know? Of course, I know about my future son-in-law. John here is marrying my daughter Kyla next month.
What?
Almost everyone in the room turned to look at Kyla, who was standing in the corner. She gave a shy nod. Given the business relationship, we had tried to keep it a secret, but Richard must have decided it was okay to reveal it now.
In other words, he is my precious daughter's husband-to-be and my future son-in-law.
I see.
It was an unexpected revelation for Mark. The moment he heard that fact, his face turned pale and his mouth trembled. Kyla had her position at the company thanks to Richard's connections. As a strong candidate for the next CEO, Richard already held a high position within the company. However, Kyla never took advantage of her status and worked much harder than anyone else to avoid bringing shame to her father. This was in stark contrast to Mark, who joined the company through the chairman's connections and behaved selfishly.
And yet, you treated my future son-in-law this way? What were you thinking?
I'm very sorry. I had no idea you and John were related.
That's not the point. You shouldn't have treated anyone like that, regardless of their connection to me. Look at everyone's reaction.
Everyone around us nodded in agreement with Richard, casting cold glares at Mark. The discontent they had been harboring was now coming to the surface. The atmosphere turned hostile towards Mark.
What's with those faces?
No one responded. Mark looked around desperately, but everyone had the same expression.
Do you know who I am? I'm the chairman's nephew.
He clung to his only source of power. He had nothing else to rely on. When pushed to the brink, that's the only thing he could rely on.
If you do this, I'll fire every one of you. You and you and you.
Pointing at each person, he shouted like a child. I heard Richard sigh beside me. Unable to stand it any longer, I spoke up. If you fire everyone, the company won't function.
How dare you?
He glared at me, his face full of rage. But I felt no fear. Thinking that I had been under the control of someone like this made me feel empty. Can't you see what's happening here? You're the one who's unnecessary.
Unnecessary? Me? I'm the chairman's nephew.
So what? I've had enough of hearing that. I'm the president's future son-in-law. Mark fell silent, realizing that his power meant nothing here. He had nothing left to say. But that's not the point. In business, you need to act with integrity, respect others, and fulfill your role. You have none of these qualities.
Shut up. How dare a subcontractor lecture me? Fine, the contract is terminated. You're useless to me.
No one was listening to Mark anymore. It seemed like everyone had abandoned him, except for one person who approached and spoke to him.
Stop this. You're embarrassing yourself.
Uncle David.
It was the current chairman, David, Mark's uncle. His voice was calm, but his eyes were stern.
Please do something. They're not listening to me.
Ah, I see now. Letting you into the company was a mistake.
What?
David sighed, rubbing his forehead. Mark had assumed David would be on his side, but he was frozen by the unexpected words.
My brother begged me to take you in because his son couldn't find a job anywhere. It's been years now. I should have cut ties with you long ago.
Cut ties. No, please.
It must have been hard for David to be strict with family. Despite knowing about Mark's misconduct, he had turned a blind eye and now expressed regret.
I hoped you would realize your mistake someday, but instead you grew more arrogant. That's why I never made you an executive.
Oh no.
Mark stepped back, retreating from the harsh words of his family. But there was no escape. His face turned bright red as he faced the disdainful stares of everyone around him.
At this point, there's nothing more I can do. Besides, the company is now Richard's responsibility. I have no right to intervene.
What? Then what will happen to me?
Desperately shaking David's shoulders for help, he received no further response. David had decided Mark was beyond his help. Understanding this, Richard spoke up.
You're fired. There's no place for you in this company anymore. And you don't need David's permission for that. I'm telling you myself.
What?
Mark collapsed to his knees, his mouth opening and closing in shock. He was finally consumed by the consequences of his actions. It was his own doing.
But I'm not heartless.
Richard said, approaching the fallen Mark and giving him one last chance.
The person you've wronged the most is John. You forced unreasonable work on him, took credit for it, and humiliated him at a celebratory event. If you sincerely apologize and John forgives you, I'll reconsider.
Mark's back trembled as he heard Richard's words. He slowly stood up and turned to face me.
John,
He called my name and then deeply apologized.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'll change my ways. I'll make sure the deadlines are reasonable from now on. Just forgive me. I'm begging you.
He begged my forgiveness, his voice desperate.
Please. We've known each other for years. Don't abandon me now.
Tears streamed down his face as he clung to me. His sweat and tears soaked into the red carpet. Unable to watch any longer, I decided to respond to his apology. That's enough, Mark. Stop it.
Enough? Does that mean you forgive me? You forgive me?
Mark's face was a mess of tears and snot, but there was a glimmer of hope in his eyes. It was a complete misunderstanding. What are you talking about? There's no way I would forgive you. No matter what you do, I won't forgive you. Mark's face fell into despair. None of his apologies had touched my heart. Thinking about everything I'd been through, there was no way I could forgive him. The countless hours of hard work, the lost time with Kyla, his sweat and tears didn't even come close to what I had endured. There was no way a single apology could make up for it. Even if he apologized 100 times, I could never forgive him.
What, John? Please reconsider. I have no money left. I just bought a house and a new car. How will I pay the loans? Without a job, I can't earn any money.
He clung desperately to my legs. His arm, which clung to me, bore an expensive gold watch. Outwardly impressive, but internally just as shallow. To end Mark's persistence, I delivered a final blow. I don't care. Don't ask me for money advice. Like you said, I'm just a poor guy.
What?
With that single statement, Mark completely crumbled.
As of today, you're fired. Pack your things by tomorrow.
Richard announced to the broken Mark. There was no more shouting, no more movement from him. No one offered him a hand. Even his own relative, David, didn't look his way. It was a fitting end for a man who had abused his power and behaved so arrogantly.
I'm sorry this had to happen at such a celebratory event. Let's resume the party.
Richard said, and the party restarted as if nothing had happened. The sounds of laughter and clinking dishes resumed around the room. The man who lost everything in an hour stood frozen in time, abandoned. Mark was soon fired from the company. According to Kyla, when he was packing his things and leaving, not a single person spoke to him or even looked his way. It was as if he had never existed. The mansion he boasted about was on the market 2 months later, vacant. He had tried to seek help from David, but was turned away at the door. No one knew what happened to him after that. A month later, The long-awaited day of my wedding arrived. The weather was perfect, just as predicted, with clear skies and a gentle breeze. It was an ideal day for a wedding. Relatives, colleagues, friends, and all those who supported us gathered to celebrate. Among them was Kyla's father, Richard. Tears marked the reading of Kyla's letter, and he spoke words of encouragement, still emotional.
Make sure to keep Kyla happy
I will.
and make sure you come home. Don't leave her lonely.
Laughing, I assured him. There was no longer any reason for unreasonable overtime.
Looking forward to our life together.
Kyla said, smiling in her white wedding dress. Her smile was full of love and warmth. From now on, this smile would greet me every day. A precious, happy life awaited us.